Hey everyone, welcome back to Comic Book Corner, and guys, welcome to episode number 1 of Comic Spotlight. That's right, guys. Yesterday I put up my video haul, and I put up a whole bunch of comics of what you guys wanted to have a spotlighted comic on, and I didn't think I would get many responses. Well, I got a lot of responses, and I'm very happy, and I appreciate you guys for taking the time and voting a comic in for this particular week. If you guys want to start voting now on next week's Comic Spotlight, you can go ahead and do that, and the results will be in by next Friday when I do the video. You guys have them up until about Friday morning because I do these videos on Friday nights. So this is really awesome. I hope you guys enjoy this series, and I wanted to thank everyone who voted. You know, some of the people here are Hulk's Big Toe, Harry Bean, Spiral Harvey, Omara, Nathan Banks, Running with Comics, Spectacular Webhead, Daniel 132377, Corm TV, Jay Selly, sorry if I mispronounce it, Mario Bardello, Phillies Superman, Mr. iTalk Apple. Guys, thank you so much for voting and bringing this in and getting this series off to a good start. So, with that being said, today's Spotlight book is, as you saw in the intro, Fearless Defenders issue number 1. That's right, guys. This book got the overall vote to be Spotlight Comic of the Week, and it only won by, I think it was 1 vote, and the second vote that came in second place was All New Avengers issue number 3. So stay tuned on Monday for Spider Slayer's Comic Countdown, and you'll get to see my thoughts and opinions on that book. But right now, we're going to be focusing on Fearless Defenders issue number 1. Going into this book, I did not know what to expect. I'm like, Valkyrie, that's how you say her name. I'm not a huge fan of her, you know. And then you got Misty Knight in here, you know, 70s character that was brought in. I think her first appearance is in 1975. And I'm like, okay, what to expect out of a book like this? And you know what? It was a nice read. It had great action, great artwork, and I am looking forward to the next issue. Was it the best thing I ever read? No, it's not the best thing I've ever read, but it was a very nice book to look at, and that adds on to it. You know, art is a big deal for me, and when the artwork is good in the book, it just automatically gets like almost an extra star. But this book is written by Colin Bunn, and the art is done by Will Sliney. I must get the colors in here as well by Veronica Candani, and everything is done really, really well. Inks, colors, art, everything is really done very well. So before we get started with the actual review, I want you to guys see some pictures that I took up close and personal of the book. So enjoy these pics, guys. So hopefully you guys like the art. When you have things like, you know, pictures like these, and you know, these are female characters, so they're drawn very beautifully, and you know, you got undead characters coming from the earth like this. That's always a cool thing to look at too. But the art was an A+ in my book. I love this style of art. It fit nicely, and the inks again were nice and bold, and the book was nice and colorful. Now the story, on the other hand, how was the story? Well, based off of this cover, you're like, okay, Valkyrie's basically fighting some ninjas, and you got Misty Knight here facing some demons. And you're kind of like, alright, let's see where this goes, you know? And so you open it up, and you open up the book and you see Valkyrie, you know, looking in the sky, just closing her eyes, and she's like, ah, I love rain. Isn't rain fantastic? Oh, look, how about bleeding rain? Isn't that cool? So you're like, all right. But I like this page here of Misty Knight and Valkyrie back to back like this. This is a cool looking page. And it just goes Fearless Defenders, and it gets obviously all your characters in here. There's a lot of AR to look at in this book if you guys are interested in checking it out. I actually did not look at the AR. I forgot to check it before I did the review, but it's nothing huge, I'm sure. But in the beginning of the issue, you have Misty Knight, and she's on this boat in the North Atlantic Ocean, and she's all getting ready to do some action, and she's here, you know, I guess trying to steal some relics, and she gets the gun pointed to her back, and she's like, damn, yo. She's like, shit. And she's like, I don't know what to do, you know. But the book does a really good description of introducing the character in case you've never met Misty Knight before, and it has this almost a full splash page, like half a splash page, and it shows her here, and it just goes, Misty Knight, badass private investigator, also bionic. So you know she's souped up as it is. So right away the issue opens up with lots of action, lots of ass kicking by Misty Knight, and there's this black ops or some kind of army team that's after whatever was on this boat as well, and it was a bunch of relics and old treasures and things like that. So these people here, this guy right here, is going after Misty Knight, which is unexpected on their part. And this person, Mr. Raven here, is in charge. And needless to say, they were unsuccessful at getting Misty Knight. She puts up a shield. She's like, whoa. You know, she puts up that shield. She dives into the ocean, and she gets away. The bad guys here get the major treasures. She looks like she gets this one little relic that she has in her hands here. So as the book goes along, you get to go to the White Mountains National Forest, and you get to meet our other character in the book. And her name is Annabelle Riggs. And she's basically like Indiana Jones. She's an archaeologist. She studies all these great things and all these treasures and everything else like that. Well, after studying and getting, you know, to know a little bit about Annabelle, we find out that she's dusting off the relic that Misty Knight found, and it starts playing this song. And you're like, what's going on here, man? It's just playing this music, and they don't know where it's coming from. But for all of a sudden, it starts rising the dead. The dead comes up rising. It's like skull creatures with freaking swords, and all kinds of crap is just flying above here. And Misty Knight starts getting in the action. She's like, we gotta stop these guys, you know? And all of a sudden it comes in and it's Satan Claw, and it goes Stark Industries Cybernetic Replica, Strength Enhancement, Energy Disbursement, and she starts ass kicking all these creatures. Pretty cool. And she's like, come on guys, step up. And eventually though, she's getting overrun because they just keep coming along from this site. And Valkyrie comes along up here in her little Pegasus horse here, and she starts getting involved. And then all of a sudden, Valkyrie and Misty Knight are doing battle together, and they have a little conversation how they talk like each other, or they talk differently, or whatever it is, and they're asking about their accents. And Annabelle's all infatuated with, with Valkyrie, and she's like, oh my god, she's like, you're Valkyrie, you're a real shade man, a gathered fallen warriors. And then it goes into description about how Dr. Annabelle likes girls. And she kisses her. And in the end, we get to see a whole bunch of more fighting, and basically what happens is these three team up, and they're going to do these adventures together. And I guess this creature at the end is still alive after the little music box shut off. And that's the end of the issue. Really cool book, lots of action, great artwork. I like Valkyrie and Misty Knight, I think they're kind of like an odd couple, but teaming up, it's pretty interesting to see. I really like, I think, where this book is going to go. There's going to be guest stars in this book with these two that are going to appear at times, different times, which is going to add to the team. The team's going to get larger at times, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see. Annabelle Riggs kind of threw me for a loop, how she liked women and she kissed Valkyrie, but it was an entertaining book. It had great action. It was a really in-depth plot, but I quite enjoyed it. And sometimes books like these really, I like these books where it's not really a super in-depth story and you're like out there for action, and I'm curious in you guys, what do you know any of these characters? What do you think about Misty Knight? Dude, I think she kicks ass. I think she's got a badass claw here. What do you think about that? It's from Stark Industries. What's your connection to it? And are you guys fans of Valkyrie? Valkyrie? What do you guys think of her? And what do you think of this issue? Do you think you guys might purchase it in the future? I'm going to give it a try. It's a $2.99 book. It may not be the best book, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it a 3.5, maybe 3 3/4 star out of 5 stars. And I'm anxious to see where this story is going to go. So guys, that is it from the Comic Spotlight, episode 1. And stay tuned for next episode next Friday. And you guys can start doing your early voting now for next week, or you can wait until I show the books on my comic book haul on Thursday. So guys, that's it today, and until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off, and I hope you enjoyed this first episode. Take care, everyone. See you real soon. Bye.